morning, everyone, and happy Saturday. My name is Callie, and this is another weekend of Clarinets, Cats, and Coffee. In today's video, I thought it would be a good time for us to just practice going over and under the Altissimo break a little bit, and we're going to focus on the exercises that go up to high F. And so I've included, I don't know, how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 little finger exercises here from the Baermann method that will give you a little bit of practice going up over the break. And I will share a few tips with you guys before I play through this. Before I do that, I'd like to say thank you to all of my patrons for supporting my channel. And if you are considering becoming a patron of my channel and supporting these educational videos every week, please click on the link below. I would love to see more of you there. In addition to that, if you are really into these and you're practicing these and you're thinking like, man, I sound so good, click record on your phone and go to the Facebook group for Clarinets, Cats, and Coffee and just share the video of yourself playing through any of these exercises. You can share yourself playing one, you can share yourself playing all of them. I want to hear them, and so does everybody else. So I hope to see some of you there. Okay, so we often hear tips for going over the Altissimo break. You know, our teachers are like, make sure you're playing with enough air, which that is true. Make sure you are, right? We want to make sure we're taking big, deep breaths, and you all know my favorite syllable for deep breathing is home in reverse, right? Because it gets way down into the lowest parts of the belly, all of that air nice and filled up. So if you haven't done it yet, give it a try. Just say home and then and you can just feel it. It's so good. So much air, okay? So make sure you are breathing deeply, okay? Now, a thing that I don't think enough people talk about is when you're coming down from the Altissimo break. And I've recently had a few students kind of talk to me about this because they're like, when I'm playing an Altissimo and then I go back to the Clarion register, I just feel like I'm so squeaky and I just can't get out of the Altissimo break. Now, some people out there are all about clarinet voicing, and they're all like, voicing, blah, blah, blah. And if you start thinking too hard about voicing, then you're going to overthink things, and it's just not going to be helpful. So essentially what this is voicing, but I'm not going to say that it is, because you shouldn't be thinking too hard about it. If you find that you're one of those people that you just can't stop playing an Altissimo once you start, you really just have to get used to how it feels air-wise to play in the different registers. And so I think this particular set of exercises is really great because it goes up and down over the Altissimo break. So you really have to control your air and really just kind of teach yourself what it feels like to play in all these registers and play in tune. So for me, Altissimo feels like I'm blowing kind of high, more like an E, and I can feel more of the pressure higher up in my face. When I'm going from Altissimo down to the upper Clarion register, I just imagine blowing straight forward rather than upwards. That may not make sense to any of you, and it barely really makes sense to me, but that's what it feels like. So it's a difference in air of going like E and like E. And I know both of those sound exactly the same, but the only way to really know is to practice it. And I know that's not very helpful, but what is helpful is that you can practice these and figure that out for yourself. The other thing is when you're doing stuff like this, it is very, very tempting to bite or wiggle the jaw around a whole bunch to get everything to come out in all kinds of weird ways. If you play in the similar way that I do with the instrument, more at a 45-degree angle to your face, and the jaw slightly forward, then you really don't have to do much jaw motion at all, if any. And you definitely shouldn't be thinking about it at all. So biting, pinching, any kind of compression of the reed is going to take away from the resonance of your Altissimo range. So you really just want to rely on your air, use a lot of wind, and just feel all of that vibration and sound centered and focused in the front of your mouth, just like whooshing through your instrument. So be careful about biting. The best way to break a habit is to replace it with a better habit, right? And so if biting is something you find yourself doing, try this. Take the corners of your embouchure and aim them more inward toward the mouthpiece. So biting usually happens whenever our embouchure goes backwards towards our ears, and that causes like pinching and weirdness of the jaw. So if you just think about the corners going forward or in more, then you'll get a much more muscle-y controlled grip of the embouchure, and you'll actually be able to utilize more of your top lip muscle as well. So I find if I can push the top lip down, corners in, keep the chin nice and flat, then the reed has so much space to really vibrate freely and sound nice and focused and clear. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and play through these for you. And if you have questions about anything, feel free to leave them in the comments below. But I will have the metronome on, clicking 66 beats per minute, and I will be doing these in eighth notes. I will play all of these 4 times in a row, except the one that is very long, and I will only do that twice in a row, okay? And you'll know which one it is when we get to it, because it's 3 measures instead of 1. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and play. right, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you had fun playing along with me. I can't wait to hear what you guys come up with and what you post on the Facebook group for Clarinets, Cats, and Coffee. In the meantime, I hope you all have a good weekend, a good rest of your week, and as always, happy practicing.